All right, there we go.
All right.
John Muccio, welcome to KooKs.
Thank you, Eric. It's nice to be here.
Great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
A little bit about my culinary career, I suppose.
Anything you want.
Currently retired from the restaurant business.
I know.
It's been over 5 years. Feels good.
5 years, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Except for my brief stint working with you here at Steak and Beers.
You weren't cooking. You refused to cook at anything.
I helped a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're great.
Yeah.
You're great. I mean, it was just like, whoa.
I guess it's more fun to be a waiter for the first time, right? Something different.
It's true. It's a lot easier money, too.
A lot easier and better money, yes. Yeah. I guess when I started my career in New York culinary, hotel management. I was a young boy out of high school. Graduated there, and my parents were retiring to Las Vegas, and I moved to Vegas with them and worked at the Las Vegas Hilton briefly, and then worked at a lot of mom and pop owned Italian restaurants. Been chefs and partnered in a couple of restaurants. Eventually moved out to Tacoma and opened my own restaurant, the Pastel's Bistro, where Eric walked in one day and was pleasantly surprised that he was happy he was going to get a good meal. He was worried what he was walking into.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. But I think about that when people walk into my restaurant, too.
From the outside,
look at the way the pond looks. The pond's like,
right.
half empty, and I'm like, oh, great, man. Like, this place couldn't look any worse.
Yeah, but your food just, kicks their butts and blows them away.
That's that's what I came to. I like to cook for adventurous people. You better be adventurous walking in, but you're going to be rewarded.
There you go. Anybody can walk into a fancy restaurant in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's just not...
The pre-existing standards.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, that's cool.
And I think the food is appreciated more out here.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that they can find food.
Right. And hopefully they had a vigorous hike. They're nice and hungry and been enjoying the outdoors and such.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
So what are you planning on doing in the future? Anything? Just going to go back to work at the museum?
I am going back to work at the Shoshone Museum. Yeah, really enjoying that. I'm taking over the bookkeeping. So I've been
bookkeeping for a museum?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you got the sales and stuff, huh?
Yeah, learned how to do QuickBooks, which is something new for me.
QuickBooks, really?
An accounting program. And paying quarterlies and doing payroll, and it's a whole new experience. It's been interesting.
I personally like paying an accountant. I can't stand QuickBooks. I mean, I've seen it, I understand it, but I just don't like the input, all this.
No, I totally agree, and I am not that kind of guy, but I'm learning. And it's, like I said, it's a new experience. I've been enjoying it. And 2 days a week, 6 hours a day is a lot better than, as I say as a chef, 8 days a week.
Yeah, no, it's a tough gig cooking.
Whew.
But, speaking of, I mean, it feels like it got tougher. To cook, now you got to wear a mask, and now it's
And people expect so much more, I think, with the new techniques, new gastronomic, and all, it's just seems the bar keeps getting raised, which is a good thing. Yeah,
to an extent. I wish they just, they'd raise the bar as far as, quality and not really care so much about flair.
Right.
And I think that would be better for everybody, personally, but whatever.
Right. Well, that's my background is Italian, and it's really rustic. Mm-hmm. Rustic food, and just keep good quality,
But you were, when I went to your restaurant, I always ordered the ravioli because I love your Italian food, but you have, other stuff on the menu.
I did try, I wanted to keep it diversified, and sure.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what I think. I never wanted a label. I never wanted to have a French restaurant or Italian restaurant because I never want to have. Although I do have a steakhouse now,
right.
But I'm kind of happy I can put steak on any way I want.
my background was primarily Italian, but coming out to Tacoma, yes, I wanted to diversify and offer more offerings. Now, remember, I was the only restaurant available here.
Yeah.
And other than
for 10 years, right?
For about 10 years, yeah. It was a good run.
Yeah, I'm on year 5.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really dream to cook out here, to be perfectly honest. Just because you're away from the bullshit, the corporate bullshit, the whatever, man.
You said it was a dream.
It was a dream.
A dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah. I guess also it could be a dream though. You're so far away from the bullshit. In other words, when you can't just run to a store and, well, I ran out of basil or something like that.
Yeah, you know what? I just learned to say, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's what I used to stress out about that,
right.
you know, in the restaurant industry. And now it's like, no, I'm out. I'll get some tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just tell them the truth. I'm like, look, you know, I forgot to get it.
Right.
So I'm 86ing it tonight. I'll be no, not tomorrow. I'll be at the store the next day and I'll get it from there. I'm like, you know, what do you want me to do?
People are pretty understanding.
Yeah, they don't care, you know.
Yeah, especially if you give them something else that they can.
Yeah, it's fresh. You know, it's made to order. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
All my steaks are 100% vegetarian. At death. Vegan. Some may argue vegan.
Well, cows eat cows now, don't they?
Do they what?
Cows eat cows, don't they? Feed them.
Oh yeah.
You know,
well,
they used to be.
They're
vegan.
meant to be vegan.
Yes.
We turned them into carnivores.
Unfortunately.
That's called progress, John.
Industrialization of food.
Did you? There's this thing in England. And you can look it up. And I swear to God, if they're doing it in England, they got to be doing it here. But it's actually part of their recycling program is they put part of the plastic in cow food.
You're kidding me.
No. So a third of the pellet, you can look at pictures, there'll be like little plastic in there. So not only that, it's recycling their plastic into cows. And people are wondering how we're getting plastic in our body.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God, that's happening in England.
I'll have to look it up.
Think about it. Think how much money they would save.
What is the advantage?
As far as what?
Why are they feeding the plastic?
I don't know.
Just because it's cheaper? Or,
yeah.
I mean, where's the nutrient value for the cow?
Yeah, what's the point? Because what are you going to make it fuller and it's still going to kind of starve to death?
And are you really recycling it? Because eventually the cow's going to pass it out.
Well, what does it become in the cow? Cow stomachs, I mean, there's like 4 stomachs. It's actually, to break down grass, it has to be really...
ruminant,
ridiculous, you know, to digest it. Like, we can't do that. We can't...
No way, but I don't believe they can break
fibers.
down plastic. I don't believe it. They find it now in fish, right? In the ocean.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
But there's no reason why the fish aren't, you know, eating it also, you know. They've cut open sharks and everything comes out. You know? Everything. It's like a junkyard.
Do you do any swordfish steaks or anything like that?
I don't do any seafood because I don't have a good seafood outlet. And I kind of figured as much. I'm in the middle of the desert. I don't really expect.
Yeah, it's scary.
But I'll tell you, and I used to when I was younger, I used to love the fact that we could fly things from the other side of the world to any restaurant in the world. But the more I thought about it, that's just stupid.
Because
why are we doing that?
Right.
We need to use, what's around us anyway. So I never really. I do have shrimp in the freezer, and I'll do some shrimp for some people, but. Yeah. Make a gumbo every now and again, but no, I don't really do seafood because there's no seafood around.
Yeah, that makes sense. To keep it local, as all your vegetables are here, pretty much.
Mostly, I mean,
It's hard in the wintertime, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's almost impossible in the wintertime.
Your neighbor Greg is growing anything for you this year?
I think he grows stuff. I'm not sure what he does with it, but a lot of stuff growing. Apparently, this is why my pond is
low
because they're starting an organic garden in the back. So they
what?
They started an organic garden in the back. I think they're growing hops.
Beautiful
for beer. So he needed to drain my pond to get the water and the nutrients out to feed his thing. And I'm like, I can't wait till summer, huh? Thanks. Whatever. I don't. At this after this year. Like, him draining my pond is like the least of my worries.
True that.
What is this, going to kill some of my business? Good, I don't have to do it for the state. John just did it for me. Thank you. Like,
And as far as the pandemic is going, I don't know.
Here's how the pandemic's going in a nutshell, okay? You can sit down and call it a protest, according to the laws. And then according to the CDC, if you're a protest, you're not prone to COVID, so you're no longer a COVID risk. Yeah, I know, right? It makes my head spin, but all my customers figure this out for me. I'm like, oh,
Very
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Excellent. Now I'm legal again.
Kind of like them protesting for Black Lives Matter.
Right.
You don't need to wear masks to show you're protesting.
Right, and now you're protesting when you sit down at a restaurant.
Right.
And... Which, if you're really concerned about it, and I have customers that are concerned about this too. And
I'm sure.
Yeah, so some of them want it to go. I'll carry it out to their car for them. I don't care.
Yeah. Your dining outside should be beautiful. They're
not allowed to dine outside. Unless you're protesting.
Not even.
No, it's McDonald's only in California. That's why I like McDonald's. You guys really want McDonald's the rest of your life because this is what we're doing.
And I think that's what it's really coming down to. It's really going to destroy most of the mom and pop restaurants, family-owned restaurants. How can they compete with these big?
Pushing 200,000 restaurants in California have closed.
Yeah.
Like on the West Coast, like how many? Like 1 million?
So sad.
Yeah, it's really terrible. Sad. It's terrible that they destroyed such a beautiful industry as little mom and pop restaurants. I'm like I told you, I don't have quail on my menu anymore. Organic quail, locally grown.
Right.
Because I was one of 10 restaurants that are open. The other 10 that my quail farmer had closed.
So he doesn't have the demand. So why bring the supply? He
didn't have a choice. He had to go back to work because nobody's buying quail.
Right, he doesn't have demand for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, what a shame.
He can't afford it. Like, I buy as much quail as I can, but I don't, my account's not going to support a family.
Where's his farm?
Pahrump.
In Pahrump?
Yeah.
And is he raising it in like a pen? Or are they wild? Or how does that?
No, in a pen, like in a chicken coop.
Like a chicken coop, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I never really went there, but...
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And
they cleaned them, boned them for me.
Oh, it's deboned.
Yeah, I could even get them partially deboned if I wanted to.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. And they're a decent price too.
Leave the leg bone in, and
if I wanted to, but I prefer debone now.
And flat grilling it.
I stuffed it the first time. Now I think it was pecan crusted was the last thing I did.
Nice. You could put it on the press, no? That grill press?
Yeah. I could grill it. I never thought about that.
So I was wondering. Yeah. Huh. Or just cooking in pan juices, pan
I did it in a brandy cream sauce.
Yeah. Yum.
Yeah.
Love that.
With the pecans.
I like that for lobster tail.
Yeah.
Brandy cream sauce.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with lobster brains. You just throw the heads in there and the lobster and the cream, and the brandy.
Maybe a little touch of marinara for color.
You ever done it with Pernod, the French way?
Absolutely.
That's really good too. Yeah. That's a nice, it's totally different. You can't mix them, but they're It's a great way to do it.
Fish stew with Pernod is awesome.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Fennel. Yeah. Fennel and fish go together so well. Yeah,
I think I did when I was messing around with sous vide. I was doing a Pernod cod.
Nice.
So I was getting some decent cod from Restaurant Depot, but even that fish wasn't that good. They would be good for a little bit, but then it started getting bad. So like putting something on a menu,
if it's not consistent.
No, I just never really found anything that like this one. But I've had seafood specials. I mean that's what I love about my little restaurant. If I feel like cooking something, I just cook it. I have my base. I got steaks and potatoes. And then whatever else I want to do. I mean, I do bouillon base. I'm still trying to get rabbit. Like, I'm still hopefully Perez will have rabbit for me this year. This would be the second year he's been promising it. And I'm like, it's like almost end of the season again.
That's going to be farm raised or Wasky wild rabbits?
Oh, no, farm raised.
Yeah.
Farm raised, yeah. So... Yeah, I think and that's the thing. It's like now he tells me like first we're planning this for 2 years, and now he's like he's like, all right, I'm gonna have rabbit, but I don't have a license, and I'm like, I can't sell I can't sell this stuff. And I'm wondering if because you can sell wild rabbit that's hunted, like you can sell hunted game.
Okay,
I think
I've never gotten into that now,
and I think and so. I think I remember asking Jerry about the rabbit, and he kind of said he's not sure. He'll look it up and never got back to me.
I'm not sure the wild rabbits here are going to be that edible.
No, they are. Actually, Ryan killed one for me.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't they be stringy and lean? It's not going to be.
He soaked it in brine. It was nice. Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It wasn't that gamey.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of parasites or anything. It was no worms.
It wasn't a lot.
No, I mean, there wasn't any that I could tell, but
Right.
apparently that's what everybody says, that the rabbits are full of parasites, and I'm like, okay.
Wonder how succulent they would be.
I don't know. The livers were really good. They were little though.
Yeah.
Like the farm livers are bigger. Like but these ones are like kind of small.
Are you getting any of the livers or innards from the quail? Does
No.
he give you that? No.
No. But you know what? I probably should have. And next year, I'm definitely going to add on an organ dish.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I definitely want to get something local, but yeah, I think the more I learn about organs and stuff, the more it's that we really need to get back to eating that. That's where all the minerals and the stuff that's good for us are in an animal.
I believe I ate something here that you made from organ meats before.
Probably.
Yeah, pate or something you made.
Probably. Oh, I could do a chicken pate. That's pretty good. Oh, I might just do chicken hearts or chicken livers.
Livers.
Yeah.
I can't eat an animal's heart.
Why not?
I don't know. It bothers me. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. The liver. The liver is my preference.
I don't want to eat their testicles. And I don't want to eat brain. And I've tasted brain, and wasn't that crazy about it. It's really pungent.
What was it? Cow brain?
Yeah. And it was really it tasted like very metallic, like really bloody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not into blood sausages and stuff like that. No. That metallic flavor, I don't really much care for. Yeah. So that's what kind of turned me off to that. And some organs do that too.
Yes.
So that's why you gotta soak it in milk.
Milk, right?
Yeah.
And how do you feel the average American customer? Although you get a lot of Europeans too, but for the American customer, you think that's gonna sell?
No.
I didn't think so.
No. Yeah. I'm probably not going to order a lot, but I'm going to do it for my own diet.
Test it out.
Well, it's for and I cook for Rule too. Like I've found that the more I I started juicing, like I juiced apples and ginger.
Great.
And he likes cayenne in his juice, so I'll do it before, like a busy night, because it helps with swelling, and we're both in our moods are 10 times better by the end of the night, as opposed to so that's why I kind of just want to get it for us, and then if we can sell a few orders, just kind of keep it fresh and stuff, because we're not going to want to eat livers all the time, but I think once a week, if you incorporate some kind of organ in your diet, you're much healthier for it. Do you know? And there's also, I don't remember the name of it, but there are online. There's some doctor did this. They did dried organ pills. Right. So they dry the organs out and they put it in a pill form for people that are vegetarians or plant-based diet that want the nutrients from the organs but don't want to eat organ or taste it, Yeah. And I was and so he would do that for his friends to say, look, just take this, it's good for your body, So they take it and they're like, oh wow, this is good.
I guess they have to come to grips with eating an animal product. If it's beneficial for yourself, you should
Well, I mean, I don't know why, after... And I don't know, I'm just a cook, but I don't know why after, a millennia of, human beings being on the planet, being omnivores, that all of a sudden we're supposed to be plant-based. We're going to evolve to plant-based. I don't get it.
Well, isn't that the
how's that
paleo diet? Isn't that mostly plant-based? With
paleo?
Paleo.
Well, it's paleo is it's basically a no carb with a little fruit.
Right.
I think it's just fruit and beef and nuts, but I don't know. I never really was on it.
Like a caveman eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is meat.
Yeah. Right? So no grains, no.
I think the reason our diets are so horrible is the industrialization of the food.
Commercial farming, yes.
Yes.
Yes. And that's, nobody's
and highly processed
food, whether it's plant-based, and I always argue, Barry, who's a vegan, he's very health conscious and everything, and he's like, oh, you got to try, you got to serve these, the
tofu at Tempe.
Not the tofu. What are those burgers that came with the Wonder Burgers or whatever?
Yeah, the Impossible
Burger. Yeah, because they taste so good and everything.
And high salt and fat.
That's what I did. I looked it up. Wow. I looked up the nutrition behind this and everything because I was curious how they made it.
But it's a plant fat, which is supposed to be healthier for your body than animal fat. So that's
but from studies done from people eating commercial farmed meats. Correct. If you change that in your diet, like it or not, we're going to find a way to screw up any kind of vegetable we put, like any kind of plant. As soon as they process a plant-based, it's not good for you.
I was going to say, then you're getting it's still highly processed.
Right. Yeah. It's like I've looked at
it's a tasty product. You try it?
It's okay. Yeah.
It tastes like a 7-Eleven hamburger to me.
It tastes like a turkey burger.
Like a cheap burger or something. Something getting 7-Eleven.
But that's the first thing I looked at and I said, why would I want to serve a processed burger? I make my own grass-fed hamburger patties.
Your Salisbury steak is to die for. It's my favorite dish.
It's my biggest secret.
It's my favorite dish.
I'm bringing it back. That's what I tell everybody.
I love it. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
So what's going on in Tecopole? Have you ever seen...
Oh, God. You're asking the wrong person.
Why? Oh, you haven't talked to anybody, huh?
I am pretty secluded between, breaking my leg and the pandemic. Keep it to myself.
Yeah. How many years you lived out here in the middle of nowhere?
Since 2006. So what are we on?
21. So that's 15 years. You ever seen a UFO?
No, and I look for them.
What?
No, have you?
You never...
Really?
Well, I saw that... I don't think it was a UFO. I don't know what it was, but there was something that broke up in the atmosphere. It kind of looked like a...
Oh, it was probably a meteor.
I thought it was... No, actually, I thought it was Mir. I think they I don't remember, if they said it, but I remember seeing what looked like a missile coming in, and then it just broke up and went over the horizon. It was awesome because I was in Chicago Valley.
Okay.
But I don't think it was it looked like a satellite coming in and breaking up, but I think that's when Russia was destroying their space station. Because it was big. It did not look like a little tiny satellite. It was big.
What are you doing in Chicago Valley?
I was just driving through, and this light was in the sky.
Not many reasons to be out there.
But it's dark. There wasn't a moon.
Yeah, nice.
There was nothing. All of a sudden, this light comes in. Yeah. I gotta get out and check this out. This is my UFO time.
Wow.
But I don't think it was, at first I was like, but it looked like flame. It looked like a burner,
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it out here. I like the peace and the quiet. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be real difficult to live in a city again, ever.
Yeah.
They're nice places to visit, I've decided.
Yeah, it's funny how small you feel out here because of the night sky.
Wow.
You don't get that in a big city.
Yeah.
You don't get these just how I think people lose sight of just how insignificant we are in this universe because there's no sky.
I specifically remember coming home from Mama Joe's and looking at the sky before I would go into my apartment at night, and you could see the Big Dipper.
Right.
5, 6, 7 stars, and that was it.
That was it.
And it's like, wow. And you come out here and it's like,
you can't see Uranus. That's visible tonight.
Is this supposed to be?
Yeah. It's in between the moon and Mars.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of the few times. I don't know how long it takes for you to actually view it with the naked eye, but you can see it. It's a little star that's in between the moon and Mars is easy because it's a big red star.
Right. Yeah, Uranus is so far away.
Yeah, but this is like I think last night and tonight. It'll set as the moon sets. So, but I saw the star. I saw Uranus.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Have you followed Mike at all?
What's Mike?
Robin and Mike.
No.
He's doing live streaming of his telescope.
Nice.
Ask him to sends me a email when he's going to do it, and it links me to the YouTube channel or whatever, and you can talk to him. You can text, and there's people from all over the world. Some guy from Germany and this and that, and he's showing the constellations and nebulae and all kinds of stuff.
Is he planet searching?
Some nights it's planets, some nights it's nebulas, some nights it's galaxies.
No, I mean you can get online now, and you can help astrologers basically sift through mountains of data.
Oh wow, he should be then
searching for planets. He would be perfect at that.
Yeah.
I looked into it and I'm like, no fucking way. This is boring as shit.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the way they find it. It's you have to look for a dip in the light.
Right.
So you have to sit there and look at all these pictures, and when you see the smallest, like technically 2%.
Yeah. I think is that the sun passing past the planet. I think that's why the light dips.
Yeah, and that's how they're finding
how they
it.
figured it's a planet.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. And what's weird is that, and I don't know how they do it, but they use the same color spectrum to tell whether something can be metallic, tell whether it's water.
Yeah.
It's, I think they can tell the gas giants.
Composition and all
right,
that.
from the color.
Yeah, and even whether it's coming towards you or away from you.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of stuff they're discovering right now in astrology blows my mind every time I look it up. But it's so fun to just explore our universe. I don't know. Have you ever? I think I told you about this, but you don't have a computer.
I have a little tablet.
Eyes on NASA.
Okay.
It'll give you like everything we've discovered, and then each one is like each star that it's named. You can, once you understand the because it's letters and numbers. Once you understand that, you can tell which satellite discovered it. Uh-huh. And I think the other one was the number of discovery it was.
Eyes on NASA.
Eyes on NASA. It's pretty neat. And I spent quite a few hours just kind of
checking it out.
Yeah, and seeing all at least all the satellites they want us to know about.
Face on Mars.
But they also tell you like you can go in real time. And I mean real time meaning that they're going to virtual reality throw this up there and where they think this is by mathematics and all that shit, but they'll tell you where Voyager 1 and 2 are. They passed Pluto. They're discovering just how limited our sight was. That like Pluto is not the edge of our solar system by a long shot.
I guess not. Huh?
Yeah, so they're learning like so much that like, and then they're like, how everything's always a 2-dimensional plane, now it's getting more 3-dimensional.
Sure.
Like they're discovering, these odd orbits of, rocks that are going around us and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Has Pluto become a planet again?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's just what do they call it? Exoplanet now. Now there's like it's like too small to be a planet. I don't know.
Yeah. I see your painting in your restaurant. The small planet that's big on fun. Ski.
That's right.
Pluto. Where did you get that?
I got that in the Keys. I got that in Almirada.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, in the Keys?
Yeah. It was a cool little store called the Man Store.
Okay.
And all this like crazy shit in there. It's like everything a guy,
Yes.
So I spent a couple hours going through all kinds. I got that picture too. There also. Explore the Crimson Canyon, Mars.
So speaking of the Keys, bringing it back to culinary, are you still serving your key lime pie?
I am.
What an awesome recipe.
Yeah.
Simplistic, but just luscious and delicious.
And it's American, too, which is what I like, because the Europeans will come over and be like, I got this. But this is actually true American dessert.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, you can argue the apple pie is, but really, the apple pie is not really American. We just kind of stole, the French and kind of came up with the apple pie, I think.
What's that, tatin?
Yeah, apple tatin.
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 Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But that's really kind of that's the apple pie.
I don't know, I'm going to show my ignorance. Yes, I guess apples grow in Europe too.
Apples aren't indigenous.
It's not indigenous.
No. That's how Johnny Appleseed, the whole stories.
Like tomatoes and stuff. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the funny thing that like I was watching this special.
Of course.
I'm always watching specials.
No, I mean, of course, an apple is worldwide, not just indigenous to the North American country.
It's not even indigenous to North America.
It's apples. Yeah. Johnny Appleseed story, right?
Yeah. But it went over everything that the Europeans basically spread throughout North America and South America. With the horses, the pigs. None of those are indigenous. And then some idiot.
Well, horses used to be here. Well, camels and horses.
Oh,
but we're kind of.
But then died off.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Way long. That was like
prehistoric.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, the Spanish brought them back. But they showed, all the deforestation and everything, and they even started in Europe, and they said, with all the, even some guy, because of a Shakespeare poem, he released, these 5 birds in Manhattan.
Really?
That were in a Shakespeare poem because it was so romantic, to flourish in. I think Len was telling me about this. And one of the birds is it's all over America, wiping out, species everywhere, 100 years later. And at the time it was considered, how romantic, how great that, you're releasing these, but then on the other hand, Europe has only introduced 2 things that are non-indigenous: tomatoes and potatoes, I think.
Potatoes, right.
Other than that, they have not, as far as I know, commercially introduced anything foreign.
So
they're actually very careful about that.
They always are.
I thought
like GMO cool. And all that. They're very strict on their produce, especially.
And God bless them.
But now let's see. Potatoes. Isn't the Irish famine because the potatoes didn't grow?
Yes.
So was that introduced to Ireland, or was that something?
I'm pretty sure that came over. Potatoes were back.
And tobacco, of course. Tobacco was only grown in North America,
right?
South
America. But it's not grown in Europe. They didn't bring it over and start cultivating it.
Right.
But the potatoes they did, and so the tomatoes. And as far as the special goes, those were the only 2 things.
I find fascinating that I saw in some special that tobacco was found in one of the pyramids tombs, in a pyramid.
Wow, I believe it.
So they had trade with South America, Central America, thousands of years ago.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because it doesn't grow there.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Well, it's just like that. See, Egypt is incredibly fascinating because there's a lot of shit that the government's trying to cover up for some godforsaken reason that they want to some kind of narrative about it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't fall in line, a lot of people don't talk about they found an iron blade in King Tut's tomb. That predated when we thought iron was started.
Yeah.
So obviously it was there, and still scholars oh no, and I'm like,
right.
I'm not trying to, I'm just,
like Christopher Columbus is the only one who's discovered America.
Right. Exactly. It's exactly like that.
It's that's the line, and we're gonna toe.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Oh, I heard something funny today. Truth is the new hate speech.
Truth is the new hate speech. Wow. That's very poignant for today.
Right.
Hey, are you enjoying your podcasting? What are you calling it? What's the name?
KooKs.
KooKs
with a K. KooKs.
Okay.
And I just, it's just kitchen talk.
Right.
Talking with people who've been in the industry for a while.
Right.
Kitchen stories. Or talk about whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I see that. But it's working out well for you.
Yeah, it's been fun. You're number 4.
4 or 5, you say?
Yeah.
You should bring Dan in, maybe. The brewmeister. I mean, he's not a cook, but...
Yeah, I know, but I actually was thinking about starting another one called Desert Rats.
Yeah, sure.
And then I can bring in interesting people from the desert.
Sure. And there's plenty of those, that's for sure.
And I do podcasts all the time. I actually enjoy it. I think this is kind of fun.
It's going to be a little difficult for you to get cooks out here, but I'm sure...
Well, I can meet him in town, so now I got a studio in town.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it's great.
And who would you want to interview from Pahrump, maybe, let's say? Anybody in mind?
I wouldn't mind interviewing the guy from Chat Thai, but that guy looks like he works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Of course they do.
I mean, that's one thing I'm like, geez, man, it's hard to get these guys because they're so busy.
Yeah.
But that's how, honestly, that's how I got my first 3. All those guys everybody's out of work.
Right.
I'm like, well, maybe I can jump on this and get some out there.
Sure.
And then, maybe it'll be beneficial. Because right now, it's not beneficial for somebody with a restaurant to jump on my podcast. You're not going to get anybody.
Right.
I'm like, I just hit double digits.
How are the restaurants in Las Vegas? Are they allowed to serve?
They're playing the game. It's
you can serve inside, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Social distance. Whatever.
Right. What is this eatery? Italian. It's an Italian food court in one of the casinos. It's called Italy. Have you heard of it? No. Italy.
Do you know what food court it's in?
I can't recall. It's their own food court. It's just them. It's my brother was telling me about it. It's in one of the casinos. You looked it up, and I'm anxious to try it. They have like delis and restaurants and pizzerias, and it's a whole food court of just Italian foods.
Huh.
It's called Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
Italy. Yeah. No, but where though?
On the strip somewhere, I don't know. Oh. I was hoping you knew.
Oh.
But they're half closed now because of the pandemic. Not all of them are open, so I'm going to wait.
Yeah, I mean, buffets are no longer open. What, you can't do catering.
Really?
Yeah, you can't do catering unless it's, you can do it if you're a film and you make a micro bubble.
Right. That seems counterintuitive.
I know.
Catering is just like to go and...
I know. None of this shit makes sense. It's just like when they shut down at Shoshone, I was telling Susan, I'm like, this doesn't make sense because instead of us, we were sitting down at tables, right? There were 6 or 7 of us standing around the register trying to put in our order and pay our bill and everything. Right. It's like, if we were all sitting down, we would be separated.
Right.
You know, and the tables get disinfected in between people.
Yes, yeah. Life's got to go on. You got to live. Yeah.
I got no problem with people that want to are cautious or want to, but when you try to enforce that on other people, it's like
I like the outdoor dining anyway. Mm-hmm. I've always preferred to eat outside.
Actually, it's been kind of great because it's hard to get people to eat outside now. There's no problem.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, we're outside. Like if I have one table, oh no, we're outside. Yeah. You got it.
And your ambiance outside with that fire pit is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Really is beautiful.
Yeah, and that's Ed. I got to thank for Ed. That's again one of my customers. Customers make
he brings like
restaurants
$1.42 at a time.
I don't pay for that shit. I can't afford that, man.
It's not cheap.
No, and then they burn it every night, for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I even put tables around the fire so there's people to talk to. Sure. He loves it. So
they're a nice couple, Ed and
Sharon. Yeah.
Sharon?
No. Ed and that's
no, Ed.
Sandra. No, it's Ed. I'm thinking Ed and that's Ryan's
Sandra.
parents.
Right.
No, Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, very cool.
So what else is going on in Tacoma?
Tacoma news. The mud baths are supposed to be closed, but people are still using them.
The mud baths, they've been trying to close probably since they poked a hole in the earth.
Yes, but they couldn't, right?
50 years ago.
I think because they're just afraid it competes with the local hot springs, maybe?
The hot springs that aren't allowed to be open?
Right. Well, I mean, when they're normally opened.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I personally, I've never been in there. I don't see how,
I've been in it a few times.
In a tiny little pond, when I see 100 people in there, I've seen some people in there. And it just seems like if it's such a small pond and there's that many people jumping in.
How fresh or clean can it be?
Right.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Hopefully people are respectful of nature, hopefully.
That's not what I heard. Well,
I don't know, just like anything else.
As far as fertilizing the nature, sure. They got that's how they're disrespecting it, but other than that, they're good.
It used to be nicer, Eric, 15, 20 years ago when I first came out here. Sure. It was just below my neck, and now it's below my waist. So many people, I don't want to generalize them, I think primarily LA area, but just so many people have come out here and remove the sides of the walls. They take 5-gallon buckets of mud at a time, and they bring it home to make mud masks and such as that. And it's made this thing so wide that the water has dropped by feet. So you're not comfortable in there anymore. To be submerged in the hot water, you have to kind of squat or sit on the bottom. Yeah, and that muddy bottom, I don't really want to sit on that.
I know,
you used to be able to stand and swim around. Like I said, it was just bumped 6 foot something. It's right below.
Hey, did you hear the miners' tub got a makeover?
No, really, I can see it from my house, but I haven't been out there in a while.
And Sandra,
what did they put a heater in it?
If he's there, he's got a heater. It's a get this. He got something that you can hook onto a hose and take a shower outside.
Nice.
So then he just hooked it to where it shoots back into the tub, so it just takes the water out and heats it.
Oh man,
I know.
I have to go out there with him.
Yeah,
because that's a beautiful tub, but it's not hot.
Now he's got it hot, and then what?
What's the makeover?
He put all these stones. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's just Sandra keeps telling me about it. They put all these stones there, and they're doing walkways. And
nice.
They're cleaning it out every day.
There's a lot of traffic. Like I said, I can see it from my house to traffic.
Oh, really?
There's been a lot of people going out there.
Again, a small tub that everybody's in. I don't really jump in that. But that's my summer tub, because nobody's here, and that's a cold tub.
And it's a cold tub.
Right.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can kind of tell when that one is clean or dirty. I mean, been there when it's really nasty and... Yeah. I've been there when it's crystal clear and beautiful.
Yeah, I've been there and just kind of left.
Yeah. Rusty chair and a rug inside it.
But as long as there's water going in and water going out, it's gonna and people bring scrubbers down. So if you really want to get in there and start scrubbing, sometimes I don't feel like it, so I just don't do it.
Right.
But you can.
Yeah. It's a nice tub. This town needs more hot springs.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes.
A lot of people come out here, and either the places are too busy, and
Delights is packed.
Always.
Yeah. So
always. Well, they are by bar none the nicest tubs in town.
Yes, bar none. But then the campground they can't open, man. The county, like no.
Right. They're renovating. They're painting and renovating right now.
Yeah. So they're doing it. Trying to make a positive out of it.
Yeah.
But I guess like Ryan's not involved anymore. It's just Paul and Chris.
And Chris, yeah.
Chris is actually taking ownership of it. So I'm glad that he.
I've heard both. I've heard Chris is, but I've also heard now that Paul might be stepping back in, try to take control too.
Well, I don't think he
Paul
ever
was always.
Yeah.
It's always.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to get more hands on.
Paul might be in charge and everything, but Paul doesn't want to do the work. I mean, why would he?
Yeah.
So he needs somebody to do the work anyway.
Right.
And Chris has been there for years, for as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
So go for it, man. He's lives and dies at that campground.
Yeah. So we lost Ryan, huh?
Yeah. I think he went to
Montana
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's looking at some other hot springs up there.
He was like, we're gonna go live off $5 a day. Okay.
Hunting rabbits?
Yeah, but they sold all their shit too.
Oh.
At first, I'm like, oh, okay, Ryan, I'll see you next season. It's some crazy shit he's doing,
Right.
But I think because of the, what happened, I think that they stepped away from it.
Is that right? And Laura is no longer here also, his wife.
Correct. She moved to Pahrump.
Moved to Pahrump, right.
Yeah, Kayla's taking over the house. It's funny how we're talking about the local business on the podcast. These people are going to be
we can cut this out, I guess.
Nah, I'm not going to cut nothing out. What the hell? That's work. It's more work than I'm already doing.
Kay was at the house, and I thought she was at the county campground.
No, I know, but she's moving into Ryan's old house.
Okay, so where is Perez going?
Ranch.
Okay.
Apparently that was his house all along.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's a sore subject. Don't bring it up to him.
Yeah, I ran into them the night when Laura was moving to Pahrump. I actually, and I'm sorry you didn't get any, I made 3 huge pans of lasagna, classic bolognese lasagna. Because I had all this grass-fed beef that I've been getting.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had a whole bunch of mozzarella in my freezer. So I was
Did you use the government cheese?
No. Oh, yeah.
No, you actually used that
No,
stuff?
I guess I did. The commodities.
Oh. The white stuff?
It's not. What?
The white stuff that looks like it'll bounce?
It was in
the white brick, right?
No. It's not processed or anything. It was real mozzarella, shredded mozzarella.
Oh, you got a bag of shredded mozzarella from... come on. Okay.
Yeah, I had 2 of them.
I thought you were using that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
what
God,
is this?
Is this
processed
even like food?
Oh, my God, it's so bad.
I'm like, dude, this will bounce.
I know people here that I don't want to say his name. Love that stuff. The processed, Velveeta government.
Oh, they can have it.
Oh, please. Absolutely. So lasagna came out nice, and I had given some to Laura and Perez. Shelly and I drove around, and I just portioned up 12 pieces and handed them out to everybody.
Oh,
and
cool.
then I gave, I'm sorry you did not get any.
That's
I gave
fine.
a whole half a pan to Larry and Jennifer, because Larry was helping me get in and out of my house when I broke my leg. So I wanted to thank him. That was the reason I made the lasagna.
Okay.
Yeah, so I made a whole pan and then 2 half pans. It was a lot of lasagna. And I had to give it away so I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. It's like,
Susan got a piece, and I think she shared it with Ryan the cop. Ooh. So
I would have loved to get a piece of that lasagna.
I'll make it again.
But I would have regretted it later.
That's why I gave it away. I was like, I'm eating too much of this stuff.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It came out good. You're better, right, at this point.
So what do you say to any young Italian cooks out there? Go back to school? Hurry up. You're going to get stuck in fast food restaurants your whole life?
I don't know. When I went to my son's grammar school career day, he showed up as a chef, and I had my whole speech and everything ready, and telling him, study your math, and I had my whole story prepared, and I gave a great speech. The only thing I could think in the back of my head I want to say to these kids is, hey, if somebody offers you a job in a restaurant, just put up your hands, scream, and run. That was the advice I wanted to give them.
Oh, man.
If it's a passion and you love it, you go for it. Yeah. You find something you love and it's not work. But I don't know. It gets old, too.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I mean, I'm going to talk like an old man. I'm 55 now, but boy, I wish I had worn arch support all those years.
Oh, really?
Standing on my feet. Really, now, it's hard to stand all 8, 10, 12 hours.
Yeah, I can't really do it. Like, I used to 12 hours, no problem. Now
no problem. It was nothing. And then do it again every day.
Yeah, no, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I stupidly, when I first opened, I was trying to wear flip-flops because I never, you're never allowed to, I finally got into my own restaurant. I'm like, I'm wearing flip-flops.
Yeah.
No, my feet were not having that. No. We decided on shoes and tennis shoes. And socks.
But you might want to slip a Dr. Scholl's in there or something. You'll find.
Well,
it should. It's going to catch up with you.
I've tried Dr. Scholl's. I never really liked those. They just don't feel comfortable to me.
I wear them 24/7.
Really?
Yeah. I can't not anymore.
They have these prescription ones I want to get, but they're super expensive.
They're super expensive. And good feet is supposed to be good, but they start at like $800 for what I've been told.
Good feet. $800.
Yeah. And they're supposed to only last like a half a year or a year.
What?
Yeah, that's what Percy told me. He went there and checked them out.
Forget that. I know there was one thing I was looking at. It was $400, but that was just to get you fitted. And then if you buy them again, they were like $40.
Okay.
So the first one was $400, and then it was $40 after that.
Do you remember where that was?
No. I didn't have the $400
right
for like inserts. I'm like, that was a lot of money back then. Now I'm older. I'm like, I kind of wish I got them back then, and now I wish I remember because I don't know. For all I know, that $400 is now $800.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, forget it.
It's a physically challenging job. I mean, it's mentally, physically, I mean, psychologically.
Yeah.
I still have dreams that I'm in the middle. That I'm in the middle of a line, and the tickets are flooding in, and people screaming at me.
That's when I start looking for a new job. Is when I start dreaming about it. I've never actually dreamed about this one.
I still am having dreams.
I would have, it would just be dreaming about tickets just rolling in. Yeah. Just busy, just like throwing food out like it was no tomorrow. Yeah. And that's when I know it's time to go because I've just been working too much. But it is like, and it's kind of funny, like, when you're in this business, it's like in order, and that was like my mindset. It was like, at least that's how they kind of drilled us, is like there was no 40-hour work week for a chef.
No.
That was like,
and there was no
what
break.
Are you talking about?
No lunch breaks.
I know. We don't take breaks. You don't get sick days.
That's why you smoke. That's why most chefs smoke.
Yeah.
So you go outside and take a break to have a cigarette.
When I quit smoking, my feet hurt because I was standing on them for 12 hours without a break.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I would go and sit down for like 5 minutes and then go back.
Right. Yeah, you have to.
And it worked like a charm. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, God damn. I don't know what it is, but that's one thing that I kind of like about this place is you just come out here and you make your own rules.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to. I could work more and make more money if I wanted to, but I would rather have more time off.
Absolutely.
You know, and do something else. I just
went to 4 days a week.
Yeah, I mean, I love to cook. Yeah, 4 days. You're right. You know, and I remember you doing that. And at the time, it was like almost a foreign idea to my brain.
Yes.
It's like 4 days. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with 3 days off? It's like, you know.
Well, out here, one of the days was spent shopping.
Yeah.
And getting prepared and writing my menu and this.
That's what I did yesterday. I went shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, so you lose a day off. I was open 5 days. And then on one of those days off of the 2, I'm shopping and doing my list and everything else. And I'm like, hey, I'm working 6 days a week.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've been on a kick-ass. To me, it's not work if I'm driving in town. And I'm going
shopping day used to take me 12-hour day. It was a full day. I know you have a more concise menu too. Though.
Well, Friday's a long day in general because I got so many farms to go to and stuff,
right.
and that's like a big shopping day because that's the first day of the week. But no, I mean that's it. I got one trip. I go to Vegas just to get the steaks and stuff I just can't get in Prump or can't get locally.
Right.
But, you know, and then I try to go do something while I'm in Vegas just so. And I found a kick-ass Cafe Bellini.
I've heard of it.
A great little breakfast spot.
You told me. I think that's why I've heard of it.
Oh, did I tell you about it?
Where is it?
I just went there for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
Or today. No, yesterday. It's, I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of like...
Isn't it Bellini is a drink, isn't it? That's why I think I've heard of. I think Bellini is an Italian, no?
I thought Bellinis were a pastry.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I thought they were a pastry.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need one of those tech guys that looks shit up for it.
Right.
So I can just talk whatever the fuck I want. They're like, no, that's not correct. Oh, okay.
Right. you need a backup person.
Yeah, a fact checker. Yeah, don't trust me on anything. This is just me spouting out a bunch of shit. It's like with the, you know. But it's like, why would you randomly just, you know, listen to somebody that you don't know anything about and then just believe everything they say?
Sure.
You know, but it happens.
Well, isn't everything you hear on the internet true?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many truths. So many truths.
Eric, tell me, you asked me this question, and I'm going to ask you back to, what do you see your future in the culinary or your future to be here or elsewhere? I mean, it's hard to leave this spot, but I'm certainly looking. But, okay, to interrupt real quickly, yes, I did 9-10 years. So you're only on about your fifth year,
yeah.
And it's really a gem. Why would you want to go somewhere else? It's your own rules, and you're doing really well.
Well, it scared the shit out of me this year.
Yeah, of course.
You know, with everything's going on and all these businesses closing in California and the politics don't seem to give a fuck.
Right.
You know, about small businesses.
Assuming next year we go back to normal.
Yeah, it was only 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's only 2 weeks, right?
So what are you thinking after here? Or
you know, it's definitely. I was planning on just staying here, you know, starting the garden, but now I'm looking at Mississippi, Ocean Springs. I'm looking at Austin, Texas. I definitely want to save the spot because it's got a good draw. Maybe hire somebody, or you know, maybe take over, maybe get something worked out with somebody. But I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely looking at other spots because it's. I mean. Quite frankly, California scares the shit out of me. Yeah. Like having a small business. Who would want a small business in California right now? Like you've got to be the dumbest person on the planet to say, you know what? I'm gonna go to California and open my little business, my dream. You've got to be the biggest idiot in the world.
Okay. Putting the pandemic aside, this is a dream spot for you.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of regulations in this and that.
Sure.
California.
Yeah.
It's a little more lenient here.
Yeah, they work with businesses a lot more here than like on a county level. They work with businesses a lot. Yeah. It's the state level. I'm definitely having problems with. Not a county level.
People know we're in a rural setting,
right? And are basically. I mean, I have a 12-seat dining room in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
Right.
Why is this a COVID risk? Please explain this to me.
Right.
You know, it's absurd. So, but you can't, when you have somebody just arbitrarily making laws, blanket laws, you can't, But I definitely do not dislike my local representation. It's the representation we have at the state level.
Sure.
That I'm really just disappointed in and disgusted that they're just willing to throw away all these little businesses and not do anything. I mean, and I've applied for everything they have offered. I've applied for it, and I've got denied for everything. But my clientele, like some of my better off clientele,
sure,
would tell me about hundreds of thousands of dollars that the businesses are getting, and they don't really need.
Yeah.
But it's part of, I guess, and then someone explained to me that the reason why, restaurants are the way they are is because, it's because we don't really have, restaurants in general do not have lobbyists in Washington or lobbyists on the state level. No. Fast food is basically our lobbyists.
Sure.
So that's why everything's to go.
Sense.
Their business is booming because their to go business is what fuels them. And that's okay, and as long as that's okay, the influence is fine.
Sure.
They don't really. I don't really think that they care too much what happens to small restaurants. I think that's more of a, it's the local people that care about these restaurants that are getting closed, and it's like if you don't do something about it, they're not coming back.
And you like you're saying, you end up eating McDonald's.
Right? Yeah, and you're gonna get those corporate. Pieces of shit.
So much.
I know, and it's
so
terrible.
Horrible. The food is so
and it's unless people protest in these little restaurants, they're never going to survive. They're never ever going to survive, and it's too bad that it's kind of nice to see people fight for you and stuff, but it's still why to be put in this position. It's definitely, and it's not. I remember the reason why I'm looking at Mississippi is a friend of mine was there. He's a bartender. I used to live there, so I know the area, and it's a nice area. And but I was talking, and it's funny when I opened up. I kept trying to get him out here to open up the bar next door. This is a great bartender, but I can't get him to move out to the desert. He's like, nah, I want to stay on the ocean. So he kept trying to get me to go back to Ocean Springs. And I'm like, no, I really like it here. This is, I'm a desert.
That was my next question. Are you enjoying living in a small town?
I love it. I love small towns.
You're a Vegas boy.
Yeah, I don't. Big cities suck, as far as I'm concerned. Big cities and I should say this. If you're going to learn how to cook, you need to go to big cities.
Of course.
The bigger the city, the better the restaurants.
Right.
You're just going to have. It's just the way it is. I don't. There's no way around it. And then. When you get done, you want to retire, and then those are the guys who move out to the middle of nowhere and open up a... So, I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, Mississippi, new friend.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let me ask you real quick. Is Mississippi a small town place where you're going to go to, or...?
Kinda. It's probably about Pahrump size.
Okay.
Maybe a little bigger.
50,000.
Because you got Ocean Springs, which is... they have a really cool... little scene down there. They got a bunch of little great, southern restaurants. They got music, live music every day. And I was there at the beginning of the summer, when all this started, and there was a mask suggestion, there was never a mandate in Mississippi. And there was
got my mask.
Yeah, I got my mask too somewhere over there. Saving lives, one mask at a time. But anyway, so everything was going on. I mean, I think everybody was scared in the beginning. I certainly was.
Sure.
But I definitely took a lot of precautions. I know that my sister thought she had it for a couple of weeks, so I brought her food. She quarantined for 2 weeks.
My brother was very sick with COVID. He works in the casino business in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And he was down for 3 weeks, high fever and chills. And
it's funny how it really knocked some people out, killed some people, and then other people nothing.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
That's the scary thing about it.
Right, really, but that's but realistically, you can't. I don't think you can live in. I don't really want to live in fear. If you want to live in fear, great. But why do I have to?
Correct.
I'm willing to take some necessary steps. But anyway,
wash
my point.
Wash
your hands. Yeah, this mask is pointless. I've looked up all kinds of shit, and none of that shit makes any sense.
They're actually thinking now with these new variants that they might want to ask everybody to wear the N95 mask. So you'll have real protection then.
That
It's the hospital grade.
You need to look up before instructions on how to wear the M90 mask.
How to take them off.
No, there's a certain...
I'm wearing the same mask for days on end.
What you do is you put the mask on and you spray something that smells. If you can smell it...
It's not working.
Correct. Yeah. So you tighten it.
Yeah.
Spray. If you smell it, it's not working. So once you get it down to where you can't smell, you feel how that mask is and see how long you're going to wear it.
Right.
Because realistically, you can't. Like in nurses, they're forcing nurses to wear these things. I feel sorry for them because now they're getting marks around it because they're wearing it for 8 hours.
Yeah, but
and you have to have it on so tight.
Yeah.
Again, why isn't it your choice? Why is this better? You're suffocating.
Yeah.
There's not negative aspects to wearing this mask. We breathe in more carbon dioxide. It's not necessarily good for us.
Right.
If you have it on properly and it's tight way down, your breathing's way restricted, but you're not going to get sick. You're right.
Yeah. I wonder with your beard if you can really get...
No, beards, you have to be shaven.
So you're wearing your face shield when you're cooking still?
Of course. You have to.
It's working fine. Good for you?
Yeah, I just wear a plastic shield.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't really... And even as much as I disagree with this shit, I still agree with the health department.
Sure.
If the health department says to do it, fine. God, jeez.
Yeah.
Love of God here.
Right.
It's like whatever.
Nobody wants to mess with the health department.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. And I don't, it's just to the point where, it's like, I may not agree with it, but I never want to live in a world without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I've seen what restaurants can be.
Well, it's kind of like we were talking about the rabbits. Yeah, kind of, farm to table, I understand. And I'd like to know that my food is USDA inspected or something. Just gives you a sense of security.
I don't, anything federally inspected doesn't give me no security anymore. I don't have any faith in this federal government. I don't.
I guess I'm
not for my safety.
I guess I'm romanticizing because, yes, the way they factory these foods.
It's ridiculous.
Just because the guy comes in once.
Yeah. Just because they're bacteria free doesn't mean that piece of meat is good for us.
Yeah.
Or healthy for us, or full of the nutrition we need.
True that.
Nobody cares about that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? And then it's like, since when are we not beings that take in bacteria and it's not good for our immune system not to be bombarded.
I guess we're more bacteria than we are our own cells, right?
Yeah. And so, there's some doctors that are saying that it's good for you to get sick. Like, if you spend your whole life being a germaphobe, you're actually weakening your body.
Yeah, you need to build your immunity.
Right.
Sure.
So I don't get how strapping a mask on everybody's face is going to be good for the most obese country in the world. But hey, let's restrict our airflow anyway.
The premise is to slow down the spread.
Right, because it works so far. Nothing like how you can't slow down a 30-foot aerosol.
It works in China. If you leave your apartment, we'll shoot you. Seriously, China's had so little COVID.
You're trusting reports we're getting from China? Seriously?
Seriously? That's true. Are they giving us real numbers?
Why the fuck would we trust anything? Why would we trust anything from our government too? And they're 10 times worse.
I just assume that if they're locking down, those people are going to listen to their government because there's a bigger fear.
It doesn't matter because anybody who says the opposite disappears in that country.
Yeah.
Even there was a billionaire that just was talking against the government, disappeared.
Yeah, wow.
Like, this is communism. Like, you can't, if you talk against the state, you disappear. Just like this whole cancel shit with, to me, that's communism. The cancel shit that's going on.
Cancel.
Like, when people are canceling you out, like, you're not allowed on this social media because of your politics.
Okay.
And then you get canceled.
Yeah.
Or you're getting fired because of your politics.
Protest or whatever,
Right. So you're not allowed to choose your politics. Your company chooses for you?
Yeah.
How is that American?
Yeah.
Right or wrong, it doesn't matter.
A lot of people have clauses in their contract. If you cause any disrespect to our company, you know what I'm trying to say? If you do something that reflects badly, they can be fired.
I guess so.
But not the average Joe. No average Joe has that.
Yeah, we can just get fired for anything.
Right.
Well, if you're a white male, if you're a minority, you better have a good reason.
we do live a privilege here, I guess, no?
So they say.
Yeah.
I've been searching for white privilege my whole life, and so far I don't think I've found it in Tacoma. To me, it's like this carrot that someone's been dangling in front of me. I've never been able to bite, but it keeps me going. Like, I want my white privilege. Come on, I'm ready.
I don't know. I feel embarrassed to say that I have felt it in many growing up and going to the best schools and
the best schools.
My high school was there was there was 600 students, private, all boys. There's one Jewish kid, and I think there was one black kid in the whole school.
What made your school better?
I don't want to say it's better. It was a higher grade of education. It was a preparatory school.
What makes that school better than public school?
More emphasis on preparatory, going to college and studying.
Oh, preparing you for college?
Yeah.
So you don't think regular high schools do that?
They're supposed to.
No.
I don't know. I can't relate because I was never in a public school.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as I don't know. I was in a public school, but when I found out that I took a different route, and because when I found out as a freshman, because in junior high they always put me in these biology and algebra, and so as a freshman they automatically put me in biology 2 and algebra 2, and it sucked.
Yes.
And then I'm sitting there with the counselor.
As they started putting X and Y's in the math, I'm like, come on.
Damn, it was just like the story problems and all this stuff, and it was a ton of homework. So I'm sitting there with the sophomore year, counselor's like, so we're gonna go ahead and put you in algebra 3, and I'm like, man, do I have to? And she's like, no, you can take whatever class you want. Like, can I get general math and general science? And it was great. And I had the best, high school, I think.
Yeah.
And I just breezed right through. It was great. I started cooking when I was 16. And I was like, I knew what I wanted to do. And
I guess I started about 14, 15.
14, 15, yeah.
I had a paper route, and there was a little luncheonette on the paper route.
Little luncheonette?
Yeah, it just did lunch, breakfast, and lunch in an industrial area.
Oh, okay.
And I would take the trash out for them when I would deliver the newspaper. Got friendly with the old Italian couple, and then it was clean up the place on weekends. And a year later, I was practically, ordering the food, doing the cooking, everything, just kind of running the place.
Jeez, my first
breakfast, lunch.
Breakfast, lunch, man.
Slinging hamburgers and omelets and.
I think my first cooking thing was Sizzler. My sister got me the job, and then I ended up getting a job at the main. Oh, that's right. No, you know what I was doing? Because my mom was working at Bally's, and so I don't know if you ever heard of the Sterling Silver brunch they used to have there.
Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty well known at the time,
sure.
Because it was a nice brunch, you know. But on Saturday they would do a demonstration. So the chefs would come out and cook something that they were serving. So I would go there. My mom told me about it, and I would go there every Saturday and watch the chefs.
Nice.
And then I met the owners of Mayflower, Peter Wu's mom.
Wow.
At the
great food.
Yeah, great food. And she was already a great Asian chef, but she was trying to learn French cuisine.
Nice.
And so she gave me a job at Mayflower at their. At 16, I was one of the best Asian restaurants in town.
Nice.
So that was my first real job. That's where I learned.
I always would love to work professionally.
Asian?
Love it.
Oh, it's cool. It's so different too.
Yeah.
It's really quick. It's fast.
Yes.
It's it's more prep and just
more prep.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
It's just
everything's bite size, ready to go.
Yeah. And it was really fun. And I learned how to do Peking duck, which is I was talking to Peter about it. I've never done it again. But I love the fact that because he's like, I don't really make it anymore. I was like, usually stop by International Market and just pick one up.
I was there the other day. I almost bought one.
I know. It's it's right there. It's It's like a 5-day process, and yet it's right here.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing about the luncheonette is this guy was a chain smoker. And this is like late 70s, early. He used to smoke in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And my God. And all the shelves on the walls, he'd take a cigarette, put it on the shelf.
No way!
Seriously. All the shelves had burn marks. And the ash would fall on the food. Oh my God.
Technically, you know, as bad as that sounds, it's technically sterile and it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because there was this.
I won't talk about the bugs in the soup and this.
Oh, yes, that's bad.
It was in an industrial area. It was an old building. This diner was really. It was
that's why we need health departments.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. No, but there was just one Italian chef that showed me how to make a tomato sauce with the cigar ash. And so it was in the Rio too.
Seriously?
Yeah. So it was you know how
to counteract the acidity or something.
It does kind of. Sure, it gives it a nutty flavor. But you just kind of, and as the tomatoes rolled down, she was smoking a cigar. Like a really nice Cuban.
Really?
Yeah, I've done that a few times, and it really adds a lot to the tomato sauce. So, like, I always like to do that in corporate, land whenever, I always like to, because she did that, and it's like everybody was all up in arms at the Rio.
Sure.
And she was just doing what she's always done her whole life, like Tony Marnell, like, kind of, I don't know where he knew Mama Teresa was her name, but she was like an older lady. She's never really worked in a restaurant, but had great Italian recipes.
Sure.
So
nice.
Kind of threw her in this restaurant with the sous chef that was helping her become a restaurant, not just kind of streamline it. Basically, like, look, we're going to be putting out 300.
Right.
This is going to be a little different from the 30.
Kitchen table.
Yeah, So it was a really fun experience, learning from her. But that was one of the things. So she's in the middle of the Rio, right in the the tower. She's right there. It's not even like we have. It's not even like we have outside dining anywhere.
Right.
Smoking away.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I learned a few really cool recipes off her.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's got a great cacciatore recipe too. She does this.
Years.
Huh?
I haven't made that in decades.
Yeah. She did. It's
bone in, of course.
It's what?
Bone in, of course.
Yes. She always did bone in.
Only way.
And chunks, and then
right. Break them up.
But she did this like rosemary, vinegar, and onion.
Yeah.
And then she sauteed the chickens, and then she deglaze with the vinegar and rosemary, and then add tomatoes to it.
Sure.
And then she'd make her sauce like that, and I would always slip in a little butter at the end because it makes it taste better.
Sure.
And she came over and smacked me one time.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah. It's like, no more butter.
Well, was she Southern Italian?
Huh?
She was probably Southern Italian.
I think so. Rome. She was from Rome.
Okay, because the Northerns put butter in everything.
Rome is Southern, right?
Central, I believe.
Okay.
So, South Central.
Okay, yeah, she was from Roma.
Yeah, they're going to use oils. Olive oil.
Oh, okay.
That's where all the olives grow. In the south. And the north is where you have the cows and the dairy.
Right, well, in French, too. A lot of French influence, yeah.
Sante, the chef that I worked at Romeo's, he was Italian, but he, I guess, lived in Switzerland area. So northern Italy and Switzerland, and butter was in everything. It was the first time I saw them put butter in tomato sauce, like you're talking. Mm-hmm. And that just blew me away. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But it's wonderful.
It is. Yeah, it's great. I'm like, boy, you can just add fat to everything and make it taste good. Oh, whoa.
That's the French.
Yeah,
fat,
and then
fat carries flavor.
Yeah, and then you get the milk solids that just support everything.
What's that?
The milk solids, so it doesn't make it so greasy.
Right.
But
but it gives a nice sheen.
Gives a nice sheen, yeah. But that's a lot of Chinese cooks too. Is they hit it with they hit it with not butter, but they'll hit it with oil at the end of the dish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they got and they usually use a vegetable oil.
Yeah.
And so they'll do the wok with a little oil, do their thing, and then at the very end before they send it out, they hit it with oil.
Huh.
And I'm
sense.
like, I always ask them, and that's what, like, if you ever want to know the difference between a greasy Chinese cook and a non-greasy, is a greasy Chinese cook just puts too much in.
Right.
And that's what, if you back off a little, then it's actually, you no longer become that greasy Chinese cook. But I noticed that from watching Chinese, like, oh, okay, you're a greasy Chinese. Yeah. That's why.
Because you're putting too much.
Way too much, and it's like just a little bit, perfect. It's all about balance,
Absolutely. Sweet, savory, so
everything.
Yeah.
And a little bitter.
Bitter. Right.
Bitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been very interesting, Eric. I think we...
Yeah, we're at an hour and 15.
I see that.
You sound like you're ready. Done.
The sun's down. I'm a.
Do you want some barbecue? I'm gonna head on over to the barbecue place. I'll buy you some barbecue.
I appreciate that, but no, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, John.
What are you gonna order at the barbecue place?
Mac and cheese with pulled pork
and mixed inside.
Yeah.
And
maybe topped
brisket.
with some candy bacon.
They're still making that. I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be, but whatever.
Sorry,
it's starting to turn into, instead of like candy bacon where it's a stiff piece of bacon, now it's just like a flimsy piece of bacon that's got sugar on it. I
had it before; it was perfect.
I don't know. I don't jump into someone's kitchen. No, that's wrong. Right? I just don't order it next time.
Change the cook and then not do the recipe right.
They even burnt some and they were awesome. It's like, oh, you burnt that candy bacon? Give me some of that.
Even better.
Yeah. Yeah, but undercook it, then you're just getting bacon. It's got a lot of sugar on it, and no, but it's got to be like stiff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna home make myself a big salad. I gotta.
Yeah, you are a better person than I am, Sean.
It's just been a bad year for me. Like I told you earlier, I gained more weight than I want to make.
I don't think I'm done hating myself.
Hating yourself?
Yeah, I don't think I'm done hating myself.
Well, January 1st was supposed to be the diet. Now it's February 1st.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Mac and cheese sounds good.
God, I feel like I'm on a diet all the time.
Me too, but
I'm so tired of that shit.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm addicted to cookies.
Cookies are great. I'm addicted to ice cream.
The bakery next door, she killed me.
Did she?
Oh man, I was there.
I told you to stay away from that bakery.
I was there every day.
I told you to stay away from that bakery.
Everything on the menu every day.
I told you to stay away from that bakery.
Oh my god. I'm kind of glad they're closed.
Bakeries are the devil, John.
I'm really glad they're closed. I feel sorry for her, but
she's not closed.
Well, it's delivery only now, right?
Yeah. So she's open online. I think that's like the new hip thing,
Yeah, right. Right, in cities and stuff, especially.
I'm more in the dining experience anyway, so
exactly.
I'm not really into how fast can I put out food anymore.
But that is the new millennials all want it instant and delivered. Everything delivered
from the phone.
Yeah. Even McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
It's all pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even do that.
That world's passed me by. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, me too. Really I'm like, look at this shit.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. I'm just...
Very fun, Eric.
I'm just a blind squirrel running through the forest trying to find a nut.
I'm not going to make a comment.
yeah, right? All right, that's it. I'll see you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.